Yeah, on the dishwasher I took the skin off to change the color from maybe like a beige color to a black. It was actually aluminum, so that's a good thing to look out for on the dishwashers. So you never know, you might get a little added value, and it's actually, I would say, at least a pound aluminum. So a little extra there if you can. Okay, I got a tip on a barbecue up the road here from one of my spotters. So I'm gonna go there right now to see if I can find it. And I saw a swing up the road too that I might have to cut apart. So I'm gonna get some tools to get it ready to cut apart. Okay, stay tuned. These buckets are totally empty yesterday. There's like 2 inches of rain last night. Look at that. That's ridiculous amount of rain we're getting here. Look at this. These are totally empty yesterday. That's the amount of rain we're getting. Crazy. Unbelievable. Wife said it rained really hard last night. I didn't think it was that much. Well, here's some stuff from yesterday actually. Yeah, it was a little bit dark when I loaded the stuff in here, but this was brass. Pull this light bulb. Let's screw this crap off it. It's all brass. That easy stripping, possibly. If you don't have a magnet, you're not gonna know, right? Your magnet's your best friend in this crap world. Kind of a different like lamp. Oh, it's heavy. There it is. Okay, there it is, coming off now. So I wonder why it wasn't moving. Okay. This is like tape or something. Now if I can get this out. This wire. I can strip it completely. Oh, it's tough. There, perfect. Okay. Well, it all comes apart pretty good. The socket here. Okay, so all this brass here. There. Let's say at least a pound of brass. See a little score. Okay, so let me just. I need my saw. I went here to grab my saw, but I want to just get rid of this here. Pull out the shade. Find my cutters. Had them here yesterday. Two lights. You might think it's not a lot of wire, but like I say, when you start collecting all this wire, it adds up pretty quick. The garbage guy. Here's the big recycling. actually garbage, actually. Pretty fast. You know, when I first thought of that system, they thought it would take forever, but you know what? Used to have 3 guys on a garbage truck, and now they only have 1 guy, and they do garbage every second week. So they're saving lots of money now compared to years ago. That's what's happening. Jobs are being slowly taken away by, you know, advancements in machinery and all that. But it's a tough job, but you know, guys do it in the old days. Well, still, when they do bulk garbage, like spring cleanup and stuff, they still have to have guys doing it by hand. I couldn't get this nut out, so I got lazy. Wow, it's heavy. Wow. Wow, that's like about 5 pounds or more. Even these things here, they even got a little bit of copper, maybe a copper connection or something. I've never stripped this type, so let's take a quick look and see what's in it. Ooh, look at that. Big copper spring, maybe. Let me see. Could be plated. Yeah, plated, I thought, because it had too much spring to it. Copper wouldn't spring like that. So basically, okay, 1 piece of brass here. Let's say that's brass. Maybe you can throw that spring in a copper bucket. So basically, you know, if that spring was copper, it would be a good score, right? You still got a couple pieces of brass if you want to deal with it. Okay. Okay, take this next one apart. You just gotta be careful. There's quite the spring to this, so don't put it by your eye. The spring goes flying. Actually, no spring in that one. I guess the spring is on the one side only. Maybe. I don't think it's on both sides. This actually got 2 pieces of brass. Or it might even be copper. There it is. Looks like some copper and some brass. The spring side has the brass and the other side has the copper. See that? The color difference? Right? See that? Oh well, it's just added metal. Added metal to the pot, right? It's nice here, the brass. Happy for this. I'm hoarding the brass and copper, and I'm hoarding it. See this washer here, brass. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I have enough battery. Don't see no lights on that one. 2 lights. Maybe a wrench. A couple things in case I can cut that thing. It's also a commercial fridge, but there's usually last couple of days there was cars parked right there, so I couldn't get it up. Couldn't get it. It looks pretty heavy, so debating on if I can get it or not, just because it's very heavy. It's got the compressor on top. There's a worm. Come on, worm. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to that site there. Meet you there. Yeah, I don't know, battery just died. Totally died, just like that. You have no power even to run the inside lights. Started, then it stalled. And then now it's showing that the battery's completely dead. Why is that? Hard to believe. How can a battery die like that? That's a bummer. Have to buy a battery. I knew the battery had issues with the battery, so. Plus the terminals are not that great. Okay, back in business. I had a battery, well, it's kind of bigger than normal. It's actually a marine battery. What I was doing, it was sitting in my garage. So if I can fit this on, it's been a little bit tight here, but it's gonna be better than nothing, I guess. Was sitting in my garage for the last, I don't know, a couple of years. I brought it from a motorhome, but so now I put it in there. Looks good. Start no problem. It's been sitting for at least a year on my shelf. Doing business. And I got scrap metal. This is like I thought it was a marine battery. Could be wrong, but I did have a couple of marine batteries. I have two like this. I have one more in my garage. Look, I mean, it's a little bit oversized. This one's a little more squatty, but that's a Canadian Tire Motomaster. I knew the battery was going because it would, after all, when you try to get it going, it would actually have to turn the key a couple times to almost get it to start for some reason. I was worried about this plug here. Okay, well, what's gotta do? Save $100, maybe more, probably 150. Perfect. Okay, I'm rocking and rolling now. Little light fixture, a little scrap laugh, a little bit of wire on the end, a little bit of tinted copper wire. Okay, not bad. So I'm in my area, so it doesn't really matter. Just driving around. The barbecue looks like it's gone here, but the garbage. Oh, it's pretty heavy. I think it's full of water or what, but might be plugged up or something. Wow, it's heavy. That means good. Good for the payday. Surprising how heavy it is. I'm just dodging the garbage guy. It's right around here. So I just gotta hurry up and get this in here, because this is the next route. Just a block away is coming this way. Neither the tank is plugged up, the valve is off it. But some of these tanks are old and they're heavy gauge, so I don't know. Now I noticed my van starts really fast. Before it just started. It didn't just start. Now it's like really, really nice. Put a seatbelt around or something. Just gotta be careful. It's pretty solid actually. Well, that's awesome. Noticed it from driving from there. I saw something on the ground, looked like a tank. Glad I came around. Slow now, right? Times are tougher. Prices are lousy. This is garbage here. Okay. That's the garbage. Guess the kids outrode them all. It's actually garbage day today, so all the stuff is being thrown out. Like they say, they come in pairs. But someone got the barbecue, so the barbecue, well, it's obviously it's garbage day. Not like a random day or nothing, so it's expected. Okay, got my buddy on the other line here, so put him on hold until I get the stuff in. Okay. Second haul with a tank. Like I said, everything comes in twos. This is the proof. Proof in the pudding. This one's a lighter one. The other one was really, really heavy. Shows you it's 2 hot water tanks now, and I'm only like within half a mile. Move this bike up here. Oops, this one's leaking. It's okay. Okay. That's it. Maybe a big puddle in my car overnight, maybe. Hard to say, look like they're both leaking a little bit. Okay, that's number 2. Comes in twos. Barbecue. See a couple chairs. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it, but there's always cars in the way. Hard to get it. Let me grab these 2 chairs, I think. Chairs are always a pain, but they're heavy chairs. Soft wheelchair. Clean up the neighborhood. 3 legs on this one. There's a fridge up the road here. I'm gonna grab it or not. I think I probably got more water. Huge fridge. Problems like nothing to really grab on. We're gonna slide it straight in like this. So I'm gonna move this one back. It's light side.
Let's lift up those board under it, and then you can just tilt it. Oh.
Put it stand up vertical.
Put it down.
Okay,
Go back the truck up a little bit.
It's got 2 compressors in here.
Nose back the truck up a little bit. Then push it onto the ramp.
Pretty heavy. It's a zero clearance type. It's got 2 separate fridges. Make sure to tip on the car. Couldn't get this here because this car has been sitting here for so long. Okay. Put the thing down flat because it's going uphill now.
Put the 2x4 in there, push it. Because it'll slide under. Better. Okay.
Put the ramp flat. It's going to bind otherwise.
Flat already.
No, it's got to go all the way down. Okay. Wow, it's heavy. Oh, hold it, hold it. Fuck. Rip my leg off. Almost a couple. Oh. There. Make sure it doesn't tip. I think it's got to be about 400 pounds.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I need it's not a normal fridge.
Oh yeah, so when I push, you pull and I'll push, go from the side.
Oh, almost slipped off. Holy smokes. Oh.
Here, just wait.
Well, I can push this in forward more.
Wait, hold on. Push it down. Okay, pull down. Okay, now. Now, it's just like that.
Holy smokes. Sitting on what I call a big Kuna. I think I need that 2x4 again.
Huh?
Because it's gonna
Stuck underneath. You'll be able to push it out from the inside.
I should be able to go more. Why is this doing that? Oh, some metal there.
Here, okay, try it now.
It's heavy, this thing. Move this over. Wow, that's good. Dolly. Oh, it's in. Good question.
Not that bad.
I don't know how I'm gonna get it apart.
You mean?
Well, to get all that shit off it. It's gonna hit.
You can do it to the other side.
It's not. No, it's not gonna go because it's. If I can lift that back up a little bit, see? It's supposed to go underneath that.
I can lift the foot. Rubber.
Um,
You gotta put something under the stick.
we can't get that whittled.
No. Just push it forward to it.
It doesn't want to go. I tried.
Down by the bike. Take the bike out.
Oh no, because it's this thing sitting here against this leg here.
Yeah, but it'll go now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it'll go. Just push it. Push it 2 inches.
This guy dumps fridges out all the time, so I gave him my number. You think they would call you at least? Might do it. Where's those pots?
Follow me.
I'll follow you.
Go left here, 2 blocks.
Left where?
Left here, 2 blocks.
Okay, let's get the other thing there.
Sure.
From Brother's Lead. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. These stupid numbers all the time. Asking for, you want to get free vacation, free this. Chinese trying to, or you got Revenue Canada calling you. Just stupid things that are trying to bribe you for money, extort you. Okay. Okay. I tested these. These are where the Freon goes in, where you could take a Freon out, so they're discharged. Nothing, no air in these things. So if you find these valves, they usually have a cap on there. It's on a brass cap. That's where they charge and discharge all the Freon. So anyways, this one I guess is taken out, or it looks like it's cut on that side, but like I say, it's been sitting on the street for a week. So you can see what's in there. There's 2 compressors in here, wire, copper line goes this way, spools are on the other side. So anyways, I'm just going to take what I can off it. I was almost going to take the scrap here because I was a little worried about the Freon, but totally empty, so that's awesome. So there's a rad here. Take the rad off, and all these little valves and so on. But I can't see this being all the weight here. I mean, it's super heavy. I mean, it's probably what, 50 pounds right there, I would think, but it's no 400 pounds here. There's a rad inside I saw, but it looks like it's a steel rad. There's a cover inside, it's steel, as far as I can tell. And there's a coil on the bottom, which I showed you in the video, but it was snipped before. So, but I had to check these because I was a little concerned. Some of these things, if you cut the line, it's like a bomb going off. So I want to avoid doing that. So good thing is no air in them, no Freon. It's empty, so now I can take it apart completely. I'll take the compressors, everything out. Otherwise, I would have just dumped it the way it is. Lucky I checked. I took the stuff out because it couldn't move it back out. I'm hoping taking this weight off a little bit will actually help me take it out. I mean, it's so heavy. It's unbelievably heavy. But it shows you each compartment, a freezer section and a fridge section, both separate compressors with a rad. There's a rad behind a door, so the main rad shares the whole 2 fridges. It's like a rad like this, but it looks black like steel. Well, I'll investigate after, but as far as I can tell, it's going to be nothing in it. Okay, I'm just going to start getting this ready here, hopefully before it gets too dark. Need to get what I can off it. But like I say, it's been sitting there for a week. The door was sitting there. Someone took one door already. I guess he tried moving and said, forget it, I'm not touching it, I can't lift it. So they left it. Been sitting there for a week. And I figured out my brother, I seen him come up the road and he said he'd help me, so made a big difference. Otherwise I couldn't get it in. No way it's possible. It's way too heavy. And it's good for those guys because they get fridges all the time. I think they pick up the old fridges from the houses, and they, you know, sometimes fridges are brand new and they're working good, just old. And what they do is they buy a new fridge and take the old one away. That's probably what they did. This is called zero clearance. These go in those big homes like in the west side, like a $10,000 fridge. They're similar to this. This one's an older one, but I guess they tried to flog it, see if they could sell it, but I guess it wasn't working properly and they figured, no, it's not worth it. And then they had it sitting in a yard by the street. But that's probably about the 5th or 6th fridge I got out of there already. And I gave my number to them, you think they would call me, but no, they never called me. I said, just, you know, you got any appliances, call me. I'll pick them up, just call me. But anyways, you know, some people just don't bother. But like I say, for scrap, I mean, a lot of guys don't want to pick them up. For one thing, you need 2 guys to pick it up. And, you know, putting on a pickup truck is hard. I had that lift. You saw me with the lift. Otherwise, how would I do this? Unless I was Scrap Kingdom or something. He's pretty strong, that guy. He'd probably be able to do it. But for me, no way. Okay, I'll show you the parts and whatever I strip off it. The inventory at the end. Okay, stay tuned. But it's pretty straightforward. There's 4 bolts here for the compressor. There's a couple leads to cut off. This one, though, they already took off 2 bolts. They're trying to service it, I guess. Maybe that's why the Freon's gone. They probably serviced it and then maybe drained it. Who knows what they did there, but okay. And the rest is just cutting wires and so on. Okay. Okay, I got it stripped. So basically I have aluminum fin. These are where the Freon travels through. That's aluminum. So these 2 aluminum. And imagine it's partial steel on there. So not really worth much. Oh no, it's all aluminum. Okay, that's good. And then we got low grade wire right here. The main big wire here is nice heavy duty wire, the main power. All the copper. Right? Number 2 copper. That's what we're going to sell it as, and take the brass fittings off. 2 compressors, 1 big one, 1 small one. This one here, very heavy actually. 20 pounds probably for that one, close to. Probably about 10 for that one. Radiator, copper aluminum. We're going to have to cut along the side here and pop the noodles off. It's the only way we can do it. And then we'll have a little bit extra copper off the noodles. Then we got 1 mortar. Just a little bit of a couple screws here. Yeah, it doesn't fit. Okay. Okay, so that's a tear down. Yeah, I was lucky it was discharged because some of these things have a lot of pressure in these things, especially being an old one. You don't want to deal with it, but got lucky in this one. Like also these here. This is just probably for, these are actually copper in here, little spools of copper. So anyways, I just have to take it apart here. It just all comes apart. Piece of brass on the end here. Knock that off right now. It's actually pretty tight. Okay, well, put in a vise or something. Okay. So actually a not bad teardown. I would think there's probably about 3 pounds of copper probably. I think 3-4 pounds of copper. Rad's probably about 2-3 pounds. Yeah, probably 2-3 pounds, and then compressors, so a little added bonus, not too bad. but rarely you get them like this, right? Usually they're like, I've seen it before where they had two separate compartments, two power cords. This was all one power cord. So one was probably for your freezer, the bigger one, and the fridge was a smaller one, I'm thinking. And then again, maybe it's been changed already. Well, maybe not. But they were trying to take it apart because one was all sitting loose. One day I'll have a chance to take these apart and then show exactly what the motors are like, hopefully the copper. But you just never know nowadays, right? Okay, well that's it on this one here. Not too bad. I'm going to load the other stuff in here. Put all the stuff back in here. Get the stuff from my yard over there and just make one big load. Okay, perfect. Okay, I got microwave here. So I was just wondering why it's just so heavy. I'm thinking it might be full of copper. I have a copper transformer maybe. I'm thinking. Just want to try it, look. Yeah, it's pretty good value to get in that fridge. It's pretty heavy. This is going to be copper for sure. Okay, I'm going to see why this is so heavy. It's got one screw here. I'm thinking transformer copper. It's just so heavy. Doesn't look impressive, so I don't know. Looks like it's just a standard transformer. Just wondering why it's just so heavy. Oh, it is copper. Look at that. Yeah, copper. That's why. When you get something that's just super heavy for its size, copper. Copper transformer. I'm happy. See that? See that there, guys? Nice copper. So that means they're both going to be copper. Just wondering what's way too heavy for its size. Normally they're not that heavy. What make is this one? What's a Danby? That's unusual. That's a cheap name. That is very unusual. It's even got a big transformer on the clock section. Well, I got the whole circuit board. That's good. Wow. Easy stripping. Usually, like, you know, when I get them, the transformers, they seem kind of light. I'm not going to waste my time, but I dumped about 10 already this year without stripping them. But now it's going to get to a point, I'll probably have to strip them now. So if I can get 10 cents for transformer, say, then I'll only get 4.5 cents otherwise. So just gives you a little extra money, not a lot, but at least you can get in there and make sure it's not copper or just aluminum, right? See, I always take the IC chip off here. This is a nice transformer. These are, I got a lot of copper in them. The little relay's got copper. Just in some here. You don't cut the wires off now, then you get way behind, and then you're cutting wires, and then the wires are all over the place instead of getting them one container. And there's a little bit of wire here. It's like hardly worth the effort, but I can snip it a little bit. And then that's going to mean this is going to be copper too. This fan. If you see the fan, if the fan is pink, don't bother, it's aluminum. I mean, red, you might get away, but pink, forget it. Every pink one I found so far is garbage. Toss container. And copper, see that? copper. So actually, pretty good. I'll throw it in the van tomorrow. I was just wondering, it was just way too heavy for its size. Let's see if I can cut this right here. So now we have a clean copper aluminum rad, no steel. Not heavy, so not a big deal. But you know, we saved a little bit extra money, right? Okay, noodle time. See? I mean, if I put in a vise, it's probably a little bit easier, but this one I cut a little bit off here. That's why it's not doing that much here. Oops. There. This was cut a little tighter. I should have had it in a vise, but I want to show you before it gets too dark. See that? So even though you're cutting, you're getting your money back for cleaning it, right? And then you're getting the copper, a little bit extra copper that's clean. Ideally, you have to cut it really tight. See how this one kind of came out and it cut into aluminum bit? That's why it's giving me a little bit of trouble. But not lots of trouble, just a little bit of trouble. Steel. See, the tight one's perfect. If you cut tight, flush, right? Yeah, sometimes they give you a problem, but generally they come off pretty easy. If I wasn't in a rush, I would maybe I'll put it on the barrel or take it easier, you know, cut slower, have a sharper blade. Use an old blade. This one's giving me a little bit of a problem. Okay, two more. Well, a couple didn't get a tight cut, but it's okay. There. Oh, wrong spot. See, right there. Add a little cheese, you got Kraft dinner. See that? Okay. So not too bad. Happy about that. Got a nice piece of copper transformer. I need to clean this van up. It's just driving me crazy. So gonna open this mortar here. Where's my good? Yeah. See, we have a good pair of pliers. See how they're kind of like bent? Just give you the right feel. It's like an extension of your arm. Way better than those other ones. Just have to crack it a little bit. Get in there. Okay. I'll have to go underneath here now. This side will So it's starting to come out already. And there'll be a spool. These are the motors that turn motors. I call them turnstiles, but they say it's not a record player. Oh well. You know what I mean. And this one, you know, it's got full copper. Some don't have much copper. Like I'm seeing some of that like half the amount of copper. Depends on the brand, I guess, right? Obviously, there's no shortage of copper on this factory. I got my tin snips. I finally found my tin snips. They were sitting in my other house, sitting outside in the rain. I was getting rusty. Okay, you can just cut it in half. Slippery. Clip is stopping it. See, it's so full, it doesn't want to cut. Usually it cuts, but when you got problems cutting, just get the big one. Okay. I was thinking of making a wig with this, actually. Imagine a funky wig like this. It's like human hair, actually. Making a wig out of that stuff. How much you can get for it? You can somehow fasten it to something. It's just... hands are a bit oily. That's why I don't like to touching these things. Those compressor motors. Everything's oily and greasy. Look at that. Nice big ball of copper. Solid copper. Look at that. I would say 2 ounces right there of copper. Doesn't seem like much, but you know, it only takes you 2 seconds to take it off, right? A lot of guys ignore these things. Well, I should have took them off when I was, you know, I was getting kind of busy, and I figured, you know, prices kind of suck. You know, let's just dump it the way it is. But now the prices are so bad that you have to clean. You don't clean them, you're just gonna get nothing for your stuff. Prices just suck, right? Here's another one. It came out of actually a power supply. I'll show you this. This was the power supply, and this thing was sitting on the side of the power supply glued. I've never seen this type of transformer. Well, you know, I don't take them any apart, but like, I mean, this probably weighs about 2-3 pounds, the total amount, right? Some power supplies for computers are really light, but anything that's really heavy. So if you get a computer power supply that's really heavy, excuse me, you're going to get this type of stuff. Aluminum, you're going to get copper spools, a wire, look at them all. You have some vertical spools, you can pull them out. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 copper bearing spools. Then a copper transformer, another small transformer. Then we have the heat sinks, like I said earlier. And this came out of there. Look at that. And this is a lot of copper. Usually I get motors like this that's only one side, and I already got, I would say, a couple ounces. So this could be like 4 ounces of copper here. 3-4 ounces, I would think, for sure. So that's something I'll take apart. Just wondering how to take it apart. There's plastic here and stuff. I gotta split the plastic off, and it should just peel right out. You know, put in a vise and just knock off these 2 ends, take the plastic off, and it should almost, boom, slide off. So instead of selling these things for 10 cents a pound, which, you know, I'm getting 50 cents, well, I might have $1 in copper, you know what I'm saying? Alright, what if I get $1 for all of it? You know, maybe more, right? In the long run, you know, and they look at you and say, yeah, you know, they don't really want it. Like, it's like you're doing them a favor to sell it to them. Like they're doing you a favor, right? To give you 10 cents. But I know my buddy in Holland, he sells these, I think, for 15 euros. I think that's what he was telling me. For a kilo. 15 or 20 cents a kilo, maybe, or something. It was way more money, but they constantly buy it, right? They don't seem to want it, but that's just because their pipeline is going to Asia, which maybe to them it's just too much plastics or something that they don't want to deal with. I'm not really sure, but all they do is a lot of times they'll just shred it up. You put it in a shredding machine and it just breaks everything apart, and then you have all these different type of metals. The copper spools will be broken apart. Some of the stuff turns to balls, right? And then you do a big shred, and then you can do a fine shred later, right? And there's guys out there that could, you know, probably take 80% of the metal they can get out of here, right? If they shred it. But there's still a little bit of hand sorting, a little bit of hand picking, but it's kind of what's involved, right? This came with a ballast, the big one there. I tell you, this is like heavy duty. Like, it's so heavy. It's got to be a big copper in here or something. This one's non-PCB, so don't freak out, guys. It's labeled, clearly labeled or marked. But I find the ones that are labeled seem like they're full of tar. That's all I seem to find, but... Okay, get my locks here. Okay, there it is. See how it's so much tar in here? But this is actually a hard tar. Might be a little bit easier. See if I can take that one apart. Well, obviously the weather has changed, so you know, usually when the weather gets cold, they seem to get more solid. The guy told me there's lots of copper in these things. He said he scraps every one of these, even if they're PCBs. The guy doesn't care. But I wouldn't do it. Okay. It's a Phillips. Let's see if I can break it over here. Yeah, it's like hard tar actually. Get a screwdriver. I heard some people put in the fridge, put in the freezer. Into the freezer. Like anything, like, to be honest, you put anything in the cold, it gets brittle. Plastics, a lot of things do. But I had some in the summer that they stripped pretty nice. It wasn't even in a freezer or nothing. There's lots of copper here. Lots of copper. This one's actually not that bad. I mean, it is kind of like a pain, but I mean, you probably could have 2 pounds of copper in this thing, pound and a half for sure. Just got to get between laminations. Guy drives like an idiot all the time. It's getting dark. Once I rip all this crap off, most of the tar, type of stuff. Yeah, so it's not really as bad. Remember to wear gloves because there's still tar and different crap and stuff here. Might not be PCBs, but still could be toxic. Okay, starting it or it's finished? So your copper is just beyond here actually. So no, a bit of paper here still if I can get it up. There it is. It's actually, this one cleans actually not that bad. That's it. There's a lot of copper here, see that? A lot of copper. Amazing how much copper is in this thing actually. Oh, it fell apart. Look at that. Look at that. It's turned to nothing. Didn't think that easy to fall apart. That's it. Steel. So that's all your copper right here. Just need a kind of efficient way to get it off. Gotta watch Dan's channel. Is it Dan or K&D Scrapping? That guy's pretty knowledgeable about a lot of things. Give him actually a shout out to him. K&D Scrapping. He's out of Ontario. This guy scraps everything. More stuff that I would ever try to do. But you know, if you have the time, all the time in the world, when you have days off, kids are growing up, you can do anything you want, right? It's actually thick wire. Paper's coming off now. There it is. Yeah, so check his channel out, K&D Scrapping. Sarnia. He's at Sarnia, Ontario, I believe. Been around scrapping for a while, but it's just a problem with YouTube, right? You start a new channel on YouTube, the algorithm just you're in the back of the computer somewhere. They don't know who the hell you are. You could be the top guy out there and have no views because that's how YouTube's set up. I don't know how channels go viral, but I know people buy views. I know my buddy's a singer and he told me he had to buy like 100,000 views just so that when he was promoting his music, he wanted to have at least a channel that has some activity on versus having nothing. But he brought 500 views. So I think when you're buying those kind of views like that, the algorithm sees like there's a lot of activity on your channel. Look at that, very heavy. The algorithm sees activity on your channel thinking this guy's really good. That's why I wonder how some of these YouTube guys get so big. Are they paying companies to promote them? Something's funny there, because you know, I've had a channel for a lot of years and it's hard to get subscribers. It just takes forever. And some guys get subscribers overnight, like hundreds and thousands overnight. I mean, some guys are pretty talented, but I don't know. If I can somehow devise a way of getting this out. Coming, but it's not the result I want. Maybe it should be a little bit easier than that. But there's a lot of copper in that thing. Look at that. Probably getting pretty dark, like I say, but what are you gonna do? Probably maxing my batteries out now, but anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, I bet you'll probably get at least 2 pounds. 2 pounds or more out of the copper to this, or more. Be number 2 copper, because you can never clean it properly, and it's thin gauge. It's varnished. Leave it at that. So I guess maybe you gotta wait till winter time. And if some ballasts don't work out, you can't strip them, that's okay. Just sell them the way they are. But I tried this brand, like I say, I had problems stripping it, but I think with the coldness, it's like maybe, you know, 8, 9 degrees, 10 degrees Celsius. So I think, you know, it's working out for stripping it. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out that channel, K&D Scrapping, out of Ontario. Great guy, great scrapper. Okay, have a great day.